Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to
Okay.
thank the chairman and ranking member for a warm welcome to the committee. I'm delighted, Secretary Chao, that my first Commerce Committee meeting is your confirmation hearing. Welcome, and thank you again for our visit last week. It was helpful to start the conversation, and I actually want to start by asking you to speak a little bit more on a topic that we discussed when we visited, which is the Buy America rule. Simply put, I firmly believe that American workers should build our infrastructure with American products, and that taxpayers' money should not be spent on Chinese or Russian steel and iron. So here in the Senate, I have spent some time working on including a Buy America provision in our recently passed water infrastructure bill that was signed into law just a few weeks ago. And despite broad bipartisan support in the Senate, Speaker Ryan and the congressional Republicans pulled my Buy America provision from the water infrastructure bill, as we discussed. Now, their position against Buy America is at stark odds with the president-elect, who has repeated his pledge that there will be two rules for rebuilding America's infrastructure, quote, Buy American and Hire American. So if confirmed, you will undoubtedly play a leading role in implementing the president-elect's infrastructure plan. But it's noteworthy to me that you have previously been critical of Buy America rules. In 2009, you wrote an op-ed describing Buy America as, quote, dig a moat around America policy. This is in a Heritage Foundation op-ed. And to further quote you, you said, Buy America squanders America's credibility on international trade. So I want to tease out how this conflict might be resolved. And my question is, if confirmed as Secretary of Transportation, will you stand with the President-elect and support Buy America?
The President has made very clear his position on this, and it is his policy, and of course, all cabinet members will follow his policy.
Okay. Well, that's a welcome change and welcome news to me from your past writing on this topic. And I look forward to working with you on Buy America language as we move forward. I do want to note that Buy America provisions have been written into the authorizing language of several Department of Transportation grant programs. Every single statute, however, allows the Secretary of Transportation wide latitude to waive the Buy America requirement if, quote, it would be inconsistent with the public interest. And given your past views on Buy America restrictions, I guess I'd like to hear more about how you would intend to use that authority to waive Buy America restrictions, how you would evaluate what is in the public interest, and under what, my specific question is, under what conditions would you see granting these waivers, or will you grant them sparingly or frequently?
I think it is premature at this point for me to comment on any of this until I get fully briefed. I have mentioned that Buy America is the President's priority. When you drill down to some of the details that you talked about, thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. I am not fully cognizant about that. So if confirmed, I look forward to getting briefed on all those issues.
And I look forward to working with you in that
yes, of course,
implementation role. The President-elect pledged to rebuild our nation's crumbling infrastructure with $1 trillion investment in transportation, clean water, telecommunications, and other pressing needs. And I welcome that discussion, especially if it includes real investments and not just tax credits. When we met last week, I mentioned my support for reliable broadband infrastructure to ensure access to quality and affordable internet in rural communities, and we have many of those in Wisconsin. Additionally, it's well documented that water infrastructure across the country is in need of repair and upgrade, not only to avoid the failure and tragedy we experienced in Flint, Michigan, but to also meet the growing needs for delivering clean water to families and businesses. We talked about the Water Council located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that is working to find solutions to the nation's most difficult and pressing water problems. And I've introduced reforms that encourage the development and deployment of innovative water technology. And I believe these reforms have a place in any bold infrastructure investment. My colleagues and I are eager to learn more about the scope of the infrastructure package that you will help shape. But my final question is, if confirmed, will you work with me on an infrastructure package that includes real funding to address both the infrastructure challenges and support innovation exemplified by what is occurring in my home state of Wisconsin?
I would be more than glad to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Baldwin.